Let's see if this is working. Good morning, folks. I'm sitting at the dock. That's what I'm doing this morning. We're just sitting at the dock trying to get the CB to work. My CB is not working, as you can tell. It's like, anybody out there got any idea? I mean, I can get it to turn on, but I can't get any reception. I'm thinking maybe I need to replace the coax and the antenna. Because it's been stored, and it's been stored in the closet for about 9 years. This first I've had it out. I'm really surprised the darn thing even turned on, to be honest with you. But that's what we're doing this morning. A little bit of sunshine out. You see, it's all nice and sunny. It was a little bit rainy this morning, but coming into work, it was a little bit rainy. But right now, we're doing good. I mean, city driving, folks. This is what I do all day long, is back in the docks and unload and load and dropping hooks and load and unload and dropping hooks, and it's a lot more work than just driving over the road. Just so you know, if you're looking at taking a city job, it is a little bit more work than driving over the road. Because you are doing, on a daily basis, you are doing multiple dropping hooks, multiple loads and unloads, and normally what you're doing is you're picking up loads that either an OTR driver has brought into the yard to drop, or you're bringing in a load for an OTR driver to take elsewhere. So like I said, it's a little bit more work, So sometimes you have to climb up in the trailer and put straps or load locks, or depending on the customer, you got to slide tandems to the rear, slide them all the way forward. It just depends on what the customer wants. Now, I will say this: if you're looking into getting into trucking, the customer is always right. Don't get an attitude with the customer, even if that customer has an attitude towards you. Normally, the reason they got an attitude towards the driver is because another driver's had an attitude with them. So take a deep breath. Yes, you're tired, more than likely, going into some of these customers. That customer doesn't know what kind of day you've been having. Don't blame the customer for your bad day. Okay, just try and be respectful. And the more you do that, the better your company looks, and the more likely that customer is to use your company again for loads, which means you're basically scratching your own back. Now, that being said, some customers are complete buttheads, and we have to deal with them, and you're going to have to learn, if you're driving big trucks, you're going to have to learn to deal with some of them. But this right here, this is a fairly nice open area. Normally, as a city driver, we don't have this big open area to pull up and back into. We normally have to blindside back in and then blindside back in again. So you're doing a 100 coming in, and then you're doing a 180, blindside back. And normally you have to turn around and back down like their driveway or whatever to get into the customer. I mean, it's just the way it is. Because some of these customers were not built for 53 footers. I'm sure if you've driven over the road for any amount of time, I'm sure you already know that. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Another thing I will say is always try and check your directions into the customer, because sometimes they change. Okay, and Google will not send you right every time. Okay, on this customer here, I just happened to know where Cook Boulevard was because I've been down there before, but Google Maps was trying to make me do a left on a different road, and I'm like, no, that's not where I need to go, because I know the road I need is just up here about 2 blocks. So always try and double check your directions. Always, look at Google Earth and do things like that. And This is what I do on a daily, y'all. You know, I drive and I back into docks and I get unloaded and drive on. Okay, well, that's what I got for you this morning. And I just thought maybe some of my tips would help somebody out who's thinking about doing city driving. So with that, I'm going to let y'all go. Bicycle.